Hey everybody, this is Jason Creel and you're watching The Lawn Care Life. I decided to come indoors today because I'm talking about business and I'm usually out in the yard, but I want to talk to you about 5 business plans that I can see working in the lawn care business. I've actually started 3 lawn care business. I'm in my 3rd one right now, not necessarily because I intended to start 3, it just happened that way, but explain that story later. But there are more than one ways to be successful in lawn care. And again, I want to go over at least 5 business plans for a lawn care business. If you're thinking about starting there, maybe you need to adjust yours that can work for you. Today's video is sponsored by GPS Track It. If you're not familiar with what that is, it is a hardware software combination. Okay, so the hardware plugs into your port on your truck and it tracks your vehicles. And so you can see things like your route. It tells you literally every stop, how fast you're going, your driver behavior. You can track your crew. You can see if they're going outside of the territory they should and being the most efficient. So pretty cool features. You can check out the link in the description below. And they are offering a 3-month free trial. So you can just try it, plug it up, get it set up, and check it out for 3 months and see if it's a fit for you and your business. All right, so what are the 5 plans here? Well, I'm going to go through them one at a time, and I'm also going to talk to you about the pros and cons of each one, because if one of these was just by far the obvious best, then we would just go with that one, okay? But there's going to be pros and cons of each one, and I want to talk to you about that. And ultimately you got to decide what's a fit for you. Your personality, I think, is a big part of it, your skill set, and then kind of what you want to do, and then also the market you're in. Maybe every market was not a fit for each of these individual businesses. So, and if you've been in the lawn business a while, you've probably seen these 5 type of businesses. And I like to pay attention to which ones are being successful and which ones are not. So number one, we're just going to call it the mow and go or mow and blow type business. And these are what is probably the most common in the lawn care business. And that's somebody that's out there, they're mowing the lawns. Let's say they're averaging $50 per lawn, start mowing in the spring, they finish mowing in the fall. Maybe they have a little bit of work they try to do over the course of the winter, maybe up north, something related to snow. In the south, they maybe do leaf cleanup and maybe some landscaping or, mulch, pine straw, things like that. So, what I'm saying? This is what most people out there pull on a trailer with a lawnmower on it and they're out there mowing. And now, the pros of this is it's probably the easiest way to get in the lawn business. You go out there and there are customers that you can get, and you can build up a route. You can get 50 customers and have a full-time job, basically, be mowing. Now, winter income would be a serious negative to this. A lot of people have a hard time producing the same income in the winter that they do in the summer. And some of you may say, well, I like having a break in the wintertime. Yeah, we like having a physical break. We don't know if we like having a financial break. So that's going to be one of the negatives of this. So my encouragement to people that are out here doing that is you need a winter plan, in my opinion, unless you just don't have to make that much money and you just don't need that much money. Then maybe you can work 9 months out of the year and be fine. But for me, I know that is a problem. I need to make money 12 months out of the year. So I would encourage you, if you are going to go this route, that you would still try to get higher end customers. Okay. I've come to realize that there's a segment of society that's going to pay more. There's some in the middle, and there's some that are like price shopping dirt cheap. So why would we not at least be the ones in the middle and get those? If we're going to be out there mowing grass, why would we not just get paid more to mow grass? So, again, your market may determine that. Maybe you live in an area that there's not a lot of high-end clients and you have to get what you can. But if there are higher-end clients, then I would encourage you to go after those. Weekly mowing instead of bi-weekly can make a big difference. I mean, just for one, you'd have to have half as many customers to make the same amount of money because you're mowing it twice as often. The other thing is it's a lot less work because the grass is only grown for a week and it's not as big a deal. If it's grown for 2 weeks and it's gotten really tall, it's going to be a problem. And it's going to be a lot more work. It's probably not going to look quite as good because you're cutting a lot more off the lawn. And anyway, I just think targeting the right kind of customers, you may have to take what you can get when you start, but ultimately you want to refine that and go after higher end customers, even if you're just kind of going this simple mower and a trimmer and a blower and edger and all that. It can work, and you can do pretty well with this strategy. All right, the number two business plan I want to suggest to you, and I've seen this work even for small companies, is they want to be the all-inclusive high-end provider. Okay, so let me give an example. Somebody who says we are only targeting people that want 12 months out of the year service. Now, maybe up north that you include the snow plowing with your contract. In the south, we're just coming like 51 weeks out of the year. Maybe we take Christmas week off, and it's a minimum of $250. Now, you may change your minimum to 200 or 300, but let's just say $250. We come 51 weeks out of the year, and we're taking care of everything. We got your shrubs, we got your pine straw or mulch. We're doing your chemical applications. Now, a lot of those companies, what they end up doing, they sub out the chemical work to somebody like me. So they're taking care of all the maintenance, installing flowers. And again, of course, I say throwing out the number 250, that just gives a starting point. If it has a lot of shrubs, then it's going to increase the price. If it's a big yard, of course, it's going to increase the price. But you started at a minimum price at 250, and what that does is it's going to weed out a lot of customers. I mean, when people call and say, "Hey, I need somebody to cut my grass," you say, "Oh yeah, it's 12 months out of the year. We start at $250. We'd be happy to come and take a look." And they just hang up the phone. Negative of this type of business is your market may not support that. You need to live. Not everybody obviously is going to pay that. Where I live, there are areas where there are a lot of people who will do this, and there are businesses who go in there and they get in those neighborhoods where wealthy clients, and this is their model. And what's great about it is it's 12 months out of the year. I mean, they're getting paid, and it's just the same income. 12 months out of the year. They're working in the wintertime. It may just be going by there and blowing off the few leaves off their driveway, making sure everything looks good, keeping their mulch up, and putting their flowers out, whatever. They just want it looking good year round, and they're not so much concerned if it costs $50 per cut or $54 per cut. So they just a flat fee. We don't want to worry about it. We got plenty of money. That kind of customer. Probably not going to be able to make this work in a rural community. Okay, it's going to need to be where people have money in nicer neighborhoods. But ultimately, these kind of companies, I've seen them do very well. There are maybe less customers like this out there, so it can take you longer to build it. You have to be able to sell yourself to wealthy clients. But if you can make this happen, then I think it's a very good business model that can keep you in business for a long time. And what I've noticed too, is that sometimes the wealthy clients, like a lot of people, but sometimes even maybe more so, they talk to each other. So if you can get into a neighborhood and do a great job, you have a great chance to get other neighbors in that neighborhood because they're talking to each other. Hey, so and so does a great job on my lawn. I pay this flat monthly fee, and he takes care of everything. And this would also involve you building relationships with people who can take care of stuff that you don't know how to do. Maybe you need somebody that knows how to do irrigation work just in case something happens, or you need to get in touch with a weed control and fertilization guy who you can sub out that to make you the all-inclusive provider. And you guys let me know which one of these you are, or which one you think is a great fit. And I'll put this in if you're thinking about starting a lawn business or wanting to get into weed control or mosquitoes or mowing or whatever. I've got tons of resources, including video courses and all that at lawncarelife.com. You can go check those out after you finish watching a video. All right, the third plan I want to talk about is, and I've got some friends that are doing this, and they basically have some mowing customers. And maybe they're like the mow and go, $50 a cut kind of mower, and some of them are more the high end. They've got the year-round people, but really they're kind of a landscaper who does mowing just to give them some customers and allow them some networking opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I've got 25 mowing accounts, and I just do that. I'm just keeping the mowing. But really, what I'm wanting is these $10,000 landscape installation jobs, okay, or whatever you're doing for landscaping, laying sod and things like that. So you got your mowing out there mowing 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and I'm building up my landscape route, and that's where I really make my money. This can work because in the South, at least, let me speak for that. You can do it year round. You pretty much landscape year round, so that's great. The landscaping can be, if you're set up for it and know what you're doing, that can be a lot more profitable, higher end ticket. So you can make more money that way. And again, the mowing is kind of keeping you out there and giving you that steady income, and also helping you stay in the bid. You're not just sitting around waiting on the next landscape job. You're out there doing something. And as the landscape jobs come in, the good thing about the landscaping is sometimes, these landscaping companies, they get real busy in the spring. They may say, hey, we're 6 weeks out before we can get to you. Well, people not necessarily have to have a landscaping job done tomorrow, so they might be willing to wait on you. So you're mowing, you're knocking out your landscaping jobs, you're lining them up, and so you're getting those big jobs done. And you may even grow where your landscaping gets so busy, you have one crew that's the landscaping crew, and you have your other mowing crew, and maybe you can grow both of them simultaneously, and you get a full-time mowing crew. But sometimes they'll do kind of part-time. I'll be part-time landscaper, part-time mowing. So again, the advantages is higher income on those landscaping jobs. Say disadvantages of this is, you are kind of splitting yourself. You got to have the mowing equipment and you got to have the landscaping equipment. You're kind of half in one, half in the other. So it wouldn't be good if you just occasionally got a landscaping job and you weren't really set up for it. To me, this would need to work if you were able to continue getting a lot more landscaping business rolling in. And I think this can be a great business. But if it's just once in a blue moon we get a sod job, then you're not set up for it. You probably got to go rent the equipment. But if you've got the equipment and you're consistently doing landscaping jobs, I think this can be a great business model for you. And number 4, and this is for my northern friends, is a similar business model to what I just said, except to me, this one would be you would be trying to build up a full-time mowing route, maybe multiple mowing routes, and you just change it where you're snow plowing in the winter. Now, I talked to somebody the other day, and he lived in kind of one of those tweener states where they get some snow sometimes they don't get snow, and it's hard to really bet your business on that. But if you live way up north and you're going to get snow and it's a big part, then you can really be set up for the snow plowing, and we're counting on that for our income in the winter. And it's literally almost like 2 separate businesses, even though it's probably the same business. And again, you can package this all as one yearly package that you pay monthly for, or you could just do it separately as kind of charging as you go. But you're going to be mowing from, let's say, April to October or whatever it is. And then when the snow hits, you're snow plowing, and you're just full-time snow. You put your mowers up because obviously if everything's buried under snow, you don't have to worry about mowing grass. So again, this can work. You're splitting yourself again and having to have more equipment, which I would think is a negative. But the big positive is now winter can be extremely profitable, and you're not just counting on summer and sitting around doing nothing all winter, watching your summer savings dwindle up. So this is another option for those of you who live where it snows a lot. And the 5th one, and this is the route I've taken, I just went full-time weed control and fertilization. Now, some people will do mowing and weed control and separate that, and I guess that could be a 6th one. But for me, I'm not down on mowing. I've mowed a lot of yards and made a lot of money mowing lawns as well. But the weed control, the advantage of it is I'm less competition is one advantage, because there's a lot of people mowing grass. There's not near as many doing the chemical applications. The other advantage is I'm able to establish those relationships with the guys that are mowing grass, and they send me the weed control business. So I find it's actually easier to get customers, 1, because there's less competition, and 2, because I've got a lot of people mowing grass that send me referrals, and that makes it easy to get customers. So the downside is it does take a lot of customers to fill up your route. You probably have to have 300 or so, depending on how many applications you're doing. But I can do 300 customers. I can do more than that, probably 400, honestly, by myself. So you can't have 50 customers and really make any real money doing that. So you got to have a lot of customers. Again, I think customers a little bit easier to get. I got maybe 100 my first year I did it. And I've not really had some elaborate marketing plan. I'm just saying I've been able to get through building relationships, having a website, online, things like that. The other big advantage of weed control and fertilization, in my opinion, is you just make more money. Okay, it's great. I'm not saying people don't make money doing other things. Of course, you can make money selling ice if you want to, or hot dogs on the side of the street. But the weed control is very profitable. The downside, another one, you got to do license, and you got to do continuing education. There's fees. You're dealing with chemicals, things like that. But the pros are, you're out there solo, can knock out 20 to 30 yards a day and make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a day consistently. Now, those numbers may vary for you. It's not a guarantee of income, obviously. Some people probably make more than that. Some people make less than that. But you can do quite well working by yourself in weed control and fertilization. So your market's got to support it. If you live way out in the rural area, it may not be anybody paying for weed control and fertilization. But if you're in an area that has a lot of people where these services are being provided, it's very profitable. And I am teaching people how to do this with a video course at lawncarelife.com. There's documents you think, I just don't know where to start. I'm probably actually going to open up a coaching course this fall. It'll probably be a smaller group of people, and we will actually do some live training on getting you started in weed control fertilization, whether you want to start that from scratch or you want to add it on to your existing business. These are my observations. There's probably more, I'm sure, but these are some business plans that you could take for your lawn care business to get you started. And again, it may just be personality. What do you want to do? What is your market support? What do you feel comfortable doing? What do you have the equipment for? But they all can work. Okay, it's not like one of them is the exclusive one that'll work. But I did try to lay out some pros and cons of each one for you and give you something to think about. You can check out also the GPS track it. Appreciate those guys sponsoring the video. Check it out in the link below. It's got the 3-month free trial. You can call them. You can click on the link. I'm Jason Creel. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment. What do you think about what I've said today? And we will see you guys next time.